Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, U.S. Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump revoke parole status for over 500,000 migrants. The U.S. Supreme Court has permitted President Donald Trump's administration to revoke humanitarian parole for over 500,000 migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, Haiti, and Nicaragua, rolling back protections granted under President Joe Biden. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. The U.S. Supreme Court on Friday let President Donald Trump's administration revoke the temporary legal status of hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan, Cuban, Haitian, and Nicaraguan migrants living in the United States, bolstering the Republican president's drive to step up deportations. The court put on hold a federal judge's order halting the administration's move to end the immigration parole granted to 532,000 of these migrants by Trump's predecessor Joe Biden, potentially exposing many of them to rapid removal, while the case plays out in lower courts. Two of the court's three liberal justices, Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sonia Sotomayor, dissented from the decision. Immigration parole is a form of temporary permission under American law to be in the country for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit, allowing recipients to live and work in the United States. Biden, a Democrat, used parole as part of his administration's approach to deter illegal immigration at the U.S.-Mexican border. Trump called for ending humanitarian parole programs in an executive order signed on January 20th, his first day back in office. The Department of Homeland Security subsequently moved to terminate them in March, cutting short the 2-year parole grants. The administration said revoking the parole status would make it easier to place migrants in a fast-track deportation process called expedited removal. The case is one of many that Trump's administration has brought in an emergency fashion to the nation's highest judicial body, seeking to undo decisions by judges impeding his sweeping policies, including several targeting immigrants. The Supreme Court on May 19th let Trump end the deportation protection called temporary protected status that had been granted under Biden to about 350,000 Venezuelans living in the United States, while that legal dispute plays out. In a bid to reduce illegal border crossings, Biden, starting in 2022, allowed Venezuelans who entered the United States by air to request a 2-year parole if they passed security checks and had a U.S. financial sponsor. Biden expanded that process to Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans in 2023 as his administration grappled with high levels of illegal immigration from those nationalities. The plaintiffs, a group of migrants granted parole, and Americans who serve as their sponsors, sued administration officials claiming the administration violated federal law governing the actions of government agencies. Boston-based U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani in April found that the law governing such parole did not allow for the program's blanket termination, instead requiring a case-by-case review. The Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals declined to put Talwani's decision on hold. In its filing, the Justice Department told the Supreme Court that Talwani's order had appended critical immigration policies that are carefully calibrated to deter illegal entry, effectively undoing democratically approved policies that featured heavily in the November election that returned Trump to the presidency. The plaintiffs told the Supreme Court they would face grave harm if their parole is cut short, given that the administration has indefinitely suspended processing their pending applications for asylum and other immigration relief. They said they would be separated from their families and immediately subject to expedited deportation to the same despotic and unstable countries from which they fled, where many will face serious risks of danger, persecution, and even death. The Supreme Court's decision leaves hundreds of thousands of migrants vulnerable to immediate deportation. Many face the prospect of returning to countries plagued by violence, instability, and persecution. Advocates warn of severe humanitarian consequences, as families risk being torn apart. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.